Today we'll talk about countries that have demographic crises coming towards them. These are countries with the lowest fertility rate or birth rate in the world. We have, of course, countries with very, very high birth rate in Asia and partially Asia, but mostly Africa. But a lot of countries have very low birth rates. And what are these countries? 15. Luxembourg. 14. Cyprus. 13. Andorra. 12. Italy. 11. Moldova. And 10. San Marino. And 9. Bosnia and Herzegovina. All of these countries are tied with a birth rate of 1.3. All of these countries are all in Europe. And most of them have declining populations. Since there are 3 places with 1.2. Spain, Ukraine, and Macau. Ukraine is especially concerning because they're fighting a war against Russia. 1.1 is Hong Kong, Malta, and Singapore. Hong Kong gets plenty of people from mainland China to come into the city. Malta is not too fortunate. It's because not many people really know Malta exists. Singapore probably has a lot of immigrants coming towards it. Number 2, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is especially concerning because Puerto Rico, people don't want to live there, and its birth rate is extremely low, which is an extreme problem for Puerto Rico. Number 1, South Korea. Yep, South Korea has the lowest birth rate in the world. At 0.9 kids per children. For example, the United States has a 1.7 birth rate. Russia, 1.6, and China, 1.7. Even though I think China is probably more towards Macau's and Hong Kong's numbers. There's around 1.2 to 1.3. Or even a place like Thailand, this is 1.5. Or country like, and there's some countries that you would think have high birth rates. India's birth rate is only 2.2. Libya's birth rate is also 2.2. Turkey is 2.1, which is about replacement level. Argentina's 2.3, and Brazil is 1.7. And Mexico is not much higher than us, at replacement rate of 2.1. And yes, North Korea has a higher birth rate than South Korea by almost 1 kid. But there are places of increasing birth rates. Georgia's birth rate has gone back up to 2.1 after facing a demographic crisis. And Hungary's birth rate has gone up to 1.6, which means Orban's policies seem to be working, as Hungary had one of the lowest birth rates in the world. Maybe Orban's policies do work, and all countries with low birth rates, including China, South Korea, Spain, and Italy, should adopt these policies to at least get their birth rates to a replacement level. People may say there's too many people, but I think all countries should have a birth rate at least 2.1 at replacement level. And no, I'm not telling you that you should be forced to have kids. If you don't want to have kids, that is your choice. But for people who do have kids, or do want kids, well, the average replacement rate is around 2 kids to replace both you and your pet, to replace both of you. So yeah, it seems that whatever is working in Hungary is actually working. Because a couple years ago, Hungary's birth rate was around 1.4. It has risen to 1.6, and Georgia's was below replacement as well. And they basically had a rise in Christian nationalism, which increased the birth rate as well, and has kept the birth rate at 2.1. And this is as of 2022. Maybe Japan should adopt some of Orban's policies to increase the birth rate in Japan, and especially South Korea, because there won't be enough K-pop in the world to save South Korea's birth rate. And countries like Ukraine and Eastern Europe, countries like Poland, they're going to really have a problem.